matters. It matters a lot, not only for your money, but also for the development of the world. So as the biggest private asset manager in the Nordics and a pioneer within sustainable investments, we set out on a mission to make it fun and easy for everyday people to invest in the companies that are working to make the world a better place. We wanted to create a universe of sustainable investments where the customers could invest in funds based on UN sustainability goal. We wanted to measure the impact and show the customers the impact their investments had on society while their money was growing. And we wanted to provide updates and stories about the companies in the fund, all in a very smooth digital solution. We called it Bølge, and we were hoping to create a tidal wave of sustainable investments in Norway. But as with any innovation project, we needed to find the answers to 3 key questions before we developed anything. Should Storebrand do it? Is it possible? And most important of all, do people want it? Investments and sustainability is at the core of our strategy and existing business model. We know how to make money on this. We should definitely do it. We had all the back-end systems, the infrastructure needed in order to set up all the funds and to make the digital solution that we needed. And we had tons of competence on sustainable investments. It was definitely possible. And customer interviews and prototype testing indicated that people loved it. We were super excited. Top management was on board, and we got funding from the CEO in order to move forward with the idea. So in 3 months, we built an MVP that we soft launched in the market, where the customers could invest in 3 different thematic funds. And based on the insights we had, we expected a flow of investments. However, that wasn't quite the case. The few customers we got, they loved it. But it wasn't by far the volume that we expected. We were puzzled. What on earth was going on? In customer interviews, they would say, "This is awesome! When can I invest for real? Can I put my money in that? I want to do that straight away." But when we launched, they basically bailed on us. So after a few iterations, we were desperate to figure out what was going on, and we teamed up with Reodor for some growth hacking.
So when trying to fill a desert, make a desert into a tidal wave, we needed some serious growth hacking. And in growth hacking, there's only one God. It's the funnel. A lot of people here have talked about the funnel. They talked about the AR and all that stuff. But just so we're all on board with what the funnel really is. Every product has a funnel. It's the steps that a user has to go through to actually get value from your product. I'm going to use a restaurant as an example here. So you're walking down the street. You see a restaurant, you're like, ooh, that looks kind of cool. I like the interior of that. It's in a good location. There's people in there. Okay, I'm discovering this restaurant right now. I'm gauging it, okay. It's to my liking. My initial impression is good, so I'm walking closer. Then I'm going to look at the menu and see, okay, how does this menu look? Is there some stuff I like? Ooh, short rib with sweet potato fries? I like that thing. I'm going to go inside. That's where I'm converting. You finally got me. Out of all the people, you lost a lot of people already walking past. You got me. I converted. That's not enough, though. When I walk inside, I'm sitting down. I want to have friendly waiters. I want to see the wine list. I want to make sure it's good wine. When I order the meal, I want to have it in a timely manner. I want to eat it. I want to taste it, and it's good. I was like, I'm having my aha moments. So that's good. We've gotten this far. Now I'm in the retention phase. I want to come back to this place. So next week, I'm going to come back. If it's still good, I'm an ambassador all of a sudden. I'm going to tell my friends about it. This is the holy epitome of a funnel. This is what we want to have all people do. Unfortunately, it looks a lot more like this. For every single step that you want to guide a user through, you lose most of them. If you're really lucky, you get 5% of them in the top few steps. So a growth hacker's job, to put it in very basic terms, is to apply rapid experimentation to make any of these steps a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. So you want to throw rapid experiments in this to make it bigger. So in this case, they had an amazing product. So the aha moment, retention, all of that stuff, we didn't want to work on that. You can't have an amazing product if nobody knows about it. So we were working on the top of the funnel, from discovery down to conversion. And we had some pressure on our backs. They've been working on this for a while, so we actually had only 4 weeks left of our funding. So we wanted to maximize learning and to see that if we can actually convert people to this service. So we needed to experiment, and that fast. We needed a funnel that we can control all the elements ourselves. So we set up a very basic funnel. We use Facebook to pull the people in. Facebook is an amazing tool for this. You can try different pictures, different value propositions to see what works. So already when you're doing the ads, you get some data that you can pull into the next step of the funnel, which is our landing page. We used a very simple tool, basically a drag and drop website builder that, of course, nobody would recommend. We do that because then you can control all the elements. You don't have to wait for coding, building, production, none of that stuff. We can change it ourselves. And that's what we have to do in a pace like this. So we're trying here to sell the message in different ways. And our ultimate goal is to have them move to the next page, which is the form. This is where the conversion happens. So our goal was to have people put in the email address, put the name in there. That would show us what they would actually do. To Storebrand, they said, yeah, I like this service. But if they did actually sign up for it, then they would show that they would actually go through with this. So what we did, 2 times a week, we had growth meetings. It was a very simple team. Me from Readur, Camilla from Storebrand, and another designer from our team. And we discussed ideas for this. So what did we put in the first experiments? Yes, this. Okay, we're going to launch it. And then next week, 2 days later, we review. And we do it again, and again, and again. And in the beginning, it's draining. Because with growth hacking, almost all experiments fail. We know this. Still, when you're doing something and the funnel looks terrible, almost no people signing up, it still feels terrible. So you're working. We even set up like Slack notifications. So whenever a user actually signed up, it said a little ping in our Slack. So we're like, oh, yeah, okay. In the beginning, it was like 1 ping here. A few hours later, 1 ping. So it was like, oh, we were dragging our feet. Until one day, we noticed something. On the 6th experiment, a small box got a lot more clicks than the other ones. So we're like, what is in that box? We're like, oh, it's the renewable energy fund. Okay, I think people might like that. So we go back looking at data, and we also saw actually on the Facebook posts, every post that had renewable energy in it, were doing a lot better than the other ones. So we started throwing ideas around. Okay, let's build out that a little bit bigger. And then somebody came with an idea, let's make a whole website with just renewable energy fund. Build different arguments. It's really hot. You can feel like you're getting in early on the trend. It's good for your money, good for the environment. It sounds perfect. So 2 days later, we got a new website, and we launched it to the market. And this felt almost like when you're making popcorn, like, you know, the old school way, not in the microwave. When in the beginning, it's like pop, and these are like our Slack notifications when a user comes in. In the beginning, it was like pop. When we launched this experiment, it was like pop. So we were like, what? This is amazing. This shit works. Finally, we got something. We're killing it on Facebook. The ads are doing really well. Conversions through the roof in the funnel. Success. We finally made it. We found something that really works. Our growth hacking was done.
But when the popcorn was empty, when the champagne was empty, and when the initial excitement had calmed down, we got a major punch in the face. We had been so busy following the users and letting the data decide our next move that we hadn't noticed that what we hoped would be a tidal wave turned out to be a puddle. A puddle that our customers loved, but still, it was a puddle. It turned out that what our customers really loved with our concept was basically just a renewable energy fund. We could just add that to our existing list of 60 funds, and the customers would be happy. So now things looked a little bit different. It was still very possible for us to do it. The customers loved it, but to build an investment service based on one fund is not very scalable, and it's really hard to monetize on it. So then came the not so fun part. I had to go back to the CEO and say, you remember this really cool idea we had called Bølge, and we were going to create this universe of sustainable investments, and we all loved it? Well, it turns out it doesn't work. He looked at me and he said, why are you wearing all black like this is some sort of funeral? We've learned something new. This saved us a lot of money. We should celebrate today.
That's the kind of CEO that I would like to work for, right? So, in doing this together, we learned a lot. We're going to break it down to like 3 lessons you all can take home tonight. Talk is cheap. Storebrand did all the right things, right? They talked to the users, understand, show them prototypes, so that it looks like everybody wants it. But when it comes to actually pulling out their wallet and buying this thing, nobody showed up. So just like we did, you can do this as well. If you have an idea, don't build the whole thing yet. Easy now. Get a simple drag and drop website tool like Squarespace, Wix, Instapage, whatever. Make a little website of your product, of your idea. Put 10,000 kroner maybe in Facebook ads. See if you can get some clicks on your ads. See if you can get them to the website and track if they're signed up as beta users. It's really simple. You can validate already there if you have something that people want or not. And of course, I'm going to get to that later actually. So you never write on your first attempt. So when you're launching this thing, if that doesn't work on your first attempt, that's not it. My good colleague says, if you're celebrating when you're launching a digital project, I hope somebody has a birthday, because that's when the job begins. So set up a system where you can throw rapid experiments at whatever you're doing. Change the language, change the pricing, change images. Have a structure where you can rapidly experiment to make better products and services. Follow the numbers in the funnel, make sure it actually works. And last but not least, be mindful when you're following the user. We were so deep down in the trenches on this thing that we were following the user. We forgot to answer one big question. When all of a sudden it was so small, it didn't make sense at all for Storebrand to invest in this. So be mindful of the 3 things. Should you do it? Is it big enough? Or on brand, on strategy, whatever? Do people want it? And is it actually technically possible? Because we lost that on the first one. And that's how growth hacking killed our idea. Thank you so much.